Hi guys, it's Alice. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be the long-awaited Q&A. I know most YouTubers start their channel with a Q&A, but I wanted you to get used to the content that I was creating, sort of get a feel for what I was going to offer on YouTube. And then when everybody feels a bit more like they know me anyway, I thought I would answer some of your questions. So a few days back, I posted a little question on my Instagram story. Just a side note, if you don't follow me on Instagram, I'll leave my handle on screen here because I post all of my YouTube updates and everything like that on there. So go and follow me. But yeah, I put a little Q&A up on my Instagram story and said I would be answering your questions over on YouTube today. So I wanted it to be a bit of a spill in the tea video. I have done Q&As on my Instagram stories before, so today I won't be covering all the generics, my age, blah blah blah. None of the boring stuff. It will be more in-depth questions. So on to question 1. It's difficult to say where I will be in 10 years time because the internet is such a fast-paced thing. Facebook is a good indicator. A lot of people say, oh, like Instagram's not going to be around forever, it's not going to be here, people won't use it the same, like your career is so short. And yeah, you have a point, but I do think it's a bit of a scaremongering tactic because like I said, Facebook has been around for what, 15 years now? Almost, and yeah, it's sort of moved with the generation. It's not as user-friendly for young people, but I know there is still a certain age group that love Facebook, and I think Instagram will be the same. So yeah, hopefully I'll still be posting on YouTube, I'll still be on Instagram or whatever the new app is in future. 10 years time, I hope to have my own business, and I would love to have kids as well, because in 10 years time I'll be 33, so hopefully I'll have 2 kids by then, maybe 3. Will I be done with kids then? I don't know, but I'll have a lot of screaming and crying around me hopefully in 10 years time. I hope I'll have a lovely partner. As my audience grows, I'm obviously going to grow too, so you get to sort of like follow along the journey with me. But yeah, I don't know whether it's definitely going to stay in fashion, but I would love to have my own business, have my own family, and hopefully still be a blogger as well. So this is a really good question. I haven't actually been asked this one before. So I plan my outfits. I have a separate room for all of my outfits and my extra clothes. I do have some behind me, but I have quite a small room, so I use the spare room as my wardrobe. I have a huge rail of clothes, and then the bed I use as like a packing shelf, so that gets all my new deliveries and all my boxes go in there. It is quite frankly a shit show in there. But yeah, I unpack all my outfits, lay them all out, and then I just tend to plan them in my head or also on my notes on my phone. So I'll write a little tab in my notes of outfits I want to shoot that week. I get inspiration from Instagram and Pinterest. I just save them all either in my saved folder on Instagram or in their like little folders on Pinterest. So I know what I've got in my head, and then like I say, I put it all in my notes, plan it all out, lay it all out in the spare room and shoot. But the process always starts with shopping, so I shop daily. Yeah, I get deliveries daily, a couple of times a day. And I spend a lot of time online shopping, pairing things in my head, but a lot of it is just my natural instinct. It's just what I like. This is another good one. I was 19 4 years ago. 4 years ago. I still feel like I'm 19. When I was 19, I had a job. I used to work in a gym, but I had no idea the direction my life was going to take. I had no idea that I would do this now. I did actually find a diary of myself from when I was about 18 or 19 when I was working at the gym, and I'd written on it, my main ambition for the year is to have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, and yes, it took 4 years, but I've beaten that one. So I'd love to go back and tell my 19-year-old self that it's all going to work out, to really believe in your gut instinct, because I knew that I had something. I knew that I had a talent. I knew that I was interested in style, but I was really intimidated by the industry. I was intimidated by the thought of going to university, to going to fashion weeks, to things like that, styling, designing. I just thought they were really like far out goals, like completely unachievable, intangible kind of goals. I thought that they would never be achieved by someone like me, when the whole time I should have just believed in myself, known my ability, and started really grafting hard at like 19 years old. If I'd started YouTube when I was 19 instead of 23, God knows where I would be. But I'd have had an interesting like montage video from back then, because a lot has changed since then. I was very, very, very emotionally invested in boys, in my boyfriend. I cared so much what he thought of me, and I would do a lot different looking back. I would do much more myself. I would believe in myself much more. I really sort of hindered myself and underestimated my abilities. I kind of thought that I would settle for a life of average job, average job, average job, have babies, stay at home, be somebody's wife, and a few years on I couldn't think of anything more different. So I do still want to be a mum, I do still want to be a wife or a partner, but I want to be a strong, independent woman. I want to make my own money, I want to make a small fortune. And I really want to be a good example and a good role model for any future girls that I have, any children that are female, because I know the men are naturally determined, but I think it is really easy as a girl to underestimate yourself, sit on the back burner, kind of hope and pray things come your way, and not really believe in yourself and believe in your ability to achieve things completely off your own back. So yeah, instead of waiting for opportunities to come, I wish I'd gone out and got them sooner, but 4 years later I am doing that now, so I'm thankful for that at least. So, confession time. I am a horrendous example of somebody who stays fit, healthy, active. I am none of the above. I just have a good genetic makeup, I suppose. My mum has always been petite and slim. She had like a 23-inch waist on her wedding day when she was 28, so I do have that in my genetic makeup. That doesn't mean that I will look like this forever, I'm aware of that, and I am quite disciplined with food. I have a very, very small appetite, so I don't actually withhold anything from my diet. I'm allowed to eat whatever I want, kind of whenever I want. I just eat small portions of whatever I want. So pizza, you'll never see me finish a whole pizza ever. The only thing that I can finish that is like the quantity can be like a mountain on my plate is Chinese takeaway. I adore it. But yeah, I struggle to finish most meals. I can't finish a steak, so that is just why I am petite. But I am 5'3" as well, bear that in mind. But yeah, I don't tend to work out. I do have dogs, so I do tend to walk them, but I don't exercise. I wish I did. I wish I was one of those really healthy, fit, active girls. I think it's super inspiring, shows a lot of discipline, but I'm not one of them. I got asked this one so many times. It is such a massive like topic at the moment on social media. I try and be as open and honest as possible when it comes to plastic surgery, cosmetic treatments, all of those kind of procedures and things. I can do a separate video on it just because it was so frequently asked and the question was worded a few different ways and people were inquiring about certain procedures that I've had, etc, etc. But the long and short of it is I've never had plastic surgery. I doubt I will ever have plastic surgery, but what I would define as plastic surgery is going under anaesthesia and going under the knife. So I've never had a boob job, nose job, nothing like that. I doubt I ever would, but I can't say never. I also think the success rate of a lot of body treatments is a bit hit and miss. I know it as well with noses. I did look at having a nose job about 4 years ago. I couldn't afford it, but it's such an invasive procedure and there are so many people that have to get revisions. It just seems to me like a bit of a hit and miss surgery and a bit of a risky procedure to go through. One, when it's so expensive, and two, when it's so invasive. There's no going back with plastic surgery, which also is a bit of a concern for me, so that is why I've never got it. Now, moving on to cosmetic procedures, that is what I would call anything like Botox, filler, anything non-invasive but still using needles and things like that. So yes, if you follow me on Instagram, you will know that I'm quite open about my filler experience. I've had lip fillers, tear trough fillers, nose filler, which is called a non-surgical rhinoplasty, and I have also had a filler in my chin before. I've never had it in my cheeks. Everybody's obsessed with my cheeks and says that I've had filler galore in my cheeks, but I've not. They're completely natural. Never had it in my jaw or anything like that. When it comes to my chin, that was just because I have a little shadow here. I haven't had filler in my chin for over a year now, so that has come back completely, so it barely made a difference, if any at all. But yeah, the long and short of it is I have had fillers. I'm completely open to talk about fillers because I know how important it is to have somebody professional and experienced working on your face. So I'm a massive advocate for only going to a doctor. So I will happily forever and ever share who I go to, because I want you all to be safe, because in this day and age I know people are obsessed with getting procedures. There is pressure to get it, I understand that, and I want you to all be safe and aware of the risks when going into getting procedures. I would love to say if I didn't do my job I probably wouldn't have any fillers. It just helped alleviate a few of my insecurities. If I wasn't an influencer, I hope I would be doing something else that I enjoy at the moment. So I hope I would be either in fashion, doing something to do with styling, or window dressing or something like that. I would really enjoy. Working at a small fashion brand would be amazing. In social media, so I would be doing Instagram, YouTube, etc., but behind the scenes instead of in front of the camera. So I would happily do that for another brand. Or one of my other massive passions in life is packaging. So if I wasn't doing that, I would love to be involved in packaging design, but I didn't have any qualifications that linked towards that, so the likelihood of me doing that was actually pretty slim. But yeah, packaging design for cosmetic brands ideally would have been something I would have adored to do. In reality, I would have probably worked for a fashion brand in social media or something along those lines. There's no one way to sort of grow your Instagram following. When I set off on Instagram, my account was completely personal. It was personal for about 5 years. So for a while it was just family and friends, and then it sort of grew to maybe about 5,000 people. And that was just built from following other people, commenting a lot, things like that, and just being really active. But I had no idea that Instagram could really be a career for somebody like me. I knew people were doing it on the side of other things, getting free clothes and stuff, so that really appealed for me. I thought, oh my god, imagine if I could do this and get sent free clothes. How amazing would that be? Getting from 5,000 to 10,000 was the hardest bit, and then after that it just grew by like 10,000 a month every month, and I just grew and grew. That was back when the algorithm was a lot better on Instagram, so I don't know whether it's going to be as easy anymore for current influencers to grow as quickly as I did. That being said, I don't think it's impossible. Remember that the number of people that follow you doesn't necessarily determine your worth. There are people out there with like 10,000 followers that are still getting really amazing brand deals. There's a massive market for like micro influencers and niche influencers, so don't be disheartened by the amount of followers that you have got. But yeah, I started to realise that Instagram could be a career when I had maybe 60 or 70,000 followers. I did still have a full-time job and just got sent free clothes. I would make maybe £200 to £300 a month extra, and it was just a bit of fun. Then unfortunately I was made redundant this time last year, and I gave myself 3 months to either make Instagram work for me financially or find another job, and I've never looked back. So I managed to make it work. I'm not going to lie and say that it was easy. The first 3, 4, 5 months maybe I was earning good money, but it was less than what I'd earn in a full-time job, and that was with over 100,000 followers. So yeah, although there is room for small influencers and you can make really good money, back then it wasn't really a demand for small influencers, especially doing what I was doing. Definitely, if you're keen to grow your Instagram, I would say a few tips for you are to be really active on other people's accounts, but make sure it's genuine. The second is to post every single day. Yes, it's very difficult, and when you have a full-time job you just have to make the circumstances work for you. So back when I had a full-time job, I would either go on my lunch break and set up my phone on a self-timer, camera in the boot of my car on like a mini tripod, and I would take pictures from the boot of my car on my own, or I would shoot at night. So a lot of my photos back in the day were evening outfits, which was because I could only shoot in the dark because that was the only time I had free. So yeah, just make your circumstances work for you and just keep going. It took me a long time to break through into earning good money and making it a career, and even now I still compare myself to other influencers and think, oh, why didn't I get that job, or why can't I work with that brand? And it just takes patience and persistence, keeping on going and just waiting for your time to come. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, in fact if you do follow me on Instagram you might not know, but yes, I am in a relationship. I've been in a relationship for over a year now. I've known my boyfriend for two years. I think it's coming up for 2 years. We don't have an official anniversary, we just sort of became boyfriend and girlfriend. I did have to ask him last summer, like, are we like officially in a relationship? And he was like, yeah, why? And I was just like, oh, it's just you never asked me. And he was like, I'm not in school. So I don't know, let me know below, did you still need to be asked to be in a relationship, or did you just become a relationship? Because I was sat there like in summer last year like I feel like we're exclusive and I feel like he'd never speak to anybody else, but I was scared he would just be with another girl one weekend and be like, oh, what are you on about? We're not exclusive. So no, thankfully that wasn't the case. But I was just a bit like, I'm a bit of a traditionalist and I thought I was going to get asked, but I didn't. So I just had to confirm. I just had to like be like, you know, oh, aren't we? Are we just friends? What's the deal? But yeah, I've been in a relationship with him. We class it as since like Christmas 2017. This is a deep one, but the answer in short is yes, of course. I feel like most women my age probably have been. It's quite a popular thing to go through, I suppose. I wouldn't take it back for anything though. It has defined who I am, but I've experienced it. It's horrendous, it's horrible. I'm also a Libra, which means that I'm quite like an emotional character and I'm very reliant on other people for my own happiness, which is bad, and I constantly try and change that. But a natural characteristic of a Libra is like dependency on other people. So when I've gone through things like cheating, it is hit me like a brick wall. Because I just take the blame and I'm too easy to forgive, and I think I need people, so I take people back, and it's really bad. But I don't think I'm like that anymore at all, really. I'm actually much different. But in short, the reason why I have no trust issues anymore, I don't have any problems in my relationship in this like sort of factor, in regard to cheating and trust issues, even though I have been cheated on, is the way I perceive things now. In my mindset, I think a cheater shows a sign of weakness. Like if you cheat on someone, you are mentally weak, you lack emotion, and I never want to be that kind of person, and I don't really want to be with that kind of person. So if someone cheats on me, I see it as them doing me a favour. Obviously when it's in a marriage or when it's with children involved, it's very different. But luckily I've obviously never been through that. But when you're still dating and when you're still in relationships and when you're still a young adult like I obviously am now, I see cheating as a real benefit. So if somebody cheats on me, they have made it crystal clear amongst all of the factors that they're not the right person for me. They've done me a favour. You've helped me clarify that you, out of the 3.5 billion men on this planet, that you are not the one, so you can go. And I just would never take a cheater back, unless the circumstances are extremely specific. I would potentially forgive someone, but nowadays I really don't think I would. And I just think, what a shame for them to cheat on me. I know it sounds egotistical and it sounds big-headed, but you have to elevate yourself and put yourself on a platform. And I know now I'm a good partner. Like, I offer something really special to a relationship. So if somebody doesn't want that, or if somebody cheats on me, or if someone betrays that, like, you don't deserve it. So thanks, like, you've done me a favour, you can go now. Obviously you have to be able to say with confidence that you're aware of what you bring to the table. Like, I know what I bring to the table. I'm like an independent woman now. I have my own job, I have my own money, I'm chilled out, I'm mellow, I'm really loyal, I'm a good friend, I think I make people laugh. I just think I am a good partner. I show a lot of love and care, and I obviously have my weaknesses. I know I'm annoying as fuck, but I know what I bring to the table, and if you don't want it or if you betray it, then you don't deserve it. So it's that simple, and I will move on to somebody else who does eventually. And being a good person and being a good partner will pay dividend in the end, and that's what I choose to believe. Yeah, if you're not happy with someone, there's an honest and a true and respectful way to do things and end things, and cheating isn't one of them. So yeah, that is my experience with cheaters. So this is easy. It would be a black blazer, probably my House of CB one, pair of blue mom jeans, probably Topshop, black leather leggings, Topshop as well, a white boxy t-shirt, and my Alexander McQueen chunky trainers. Bam! So back onto Reese. We met on Instagram. Like, obviously we're gonna meet on Instagram. I followed him, I saw him on social media, and I just had little love heart eyes immediately. I thought he was so good looking. Like, he was just my type, covered in tattoos, dark hair, green eyes. I was just like, I love you, have my children. So I followed him, and to me that is like flirting. Like, if I follow you, I'm flirting with you as a boy, hence why I follow no boys. But yeah, I followed him, flirting, and I was like, eh. And I thought, if he never speaks to me, I'm never speaking to him. It's just not happening. So thankfully he popped up to me a few weeks later, but I'm very picky again about what boys messaged me back then. So any like creepy messages or little peep eyes or flame emojis, I was like, nope, you're gone. But I put up a Q&A about going to LA, and I never went. But I put up a Q&A about going anyway, and he'd been, and he gave me some like advice and tips of where to go. He was just very chilled, very friendly, polite, not creepy at all. He like really friend zoned me for quite a while, and then we spoke for 3 to 4 months, and finally met up because, oh, I haven't mentioned, but we are in a long distance relationship. He lives 2.5 hours away from me, so we spoke on the phone like every night for like 5 hours. He did a lot more talking than I did back then. But yeah, we spoke every night, and then a few months later he finally drove up and we went on our first date, and the rest is kind of history. But yeah, obviously the second part is why I choose not to share him on social media. There's a few reasons. It's not that I won't share him on social media, I totally would. The first point is he's not keen on having his photo taken, so he's a bit difficult to pin down for a photo, hence why we don't have many photos together and I don't have much to share. The second is when we first started speaking, I didn't have as many followers on social media, and now I have a lot, and I'm just aware of sharing a lot of my personal life in front of total strangers. As much as I adore and love so many of you, I know there's obviously no end to the amount of people who can watch my content because I'm completely public. So I just like keeping a part of my private life sacred. I like to just cherish and enjoy our memories together. I try not to be on my phone too much with him. He might beg to differ, but I try and just be in the moment a bit more with him. It's not to say that I would never share him on social media. I do. When it was Valentine's Day and stuff, I'll put the odd thing up about him, but yeah, I don't know, I just don't share much about any of my friends really, if we're out for lunch or whatever. Like, I should share more on my story, but I'm just aware of people's privacy, and as much as I chose to have this life and share so much of my personal life on social media, they didn't necessarily do that, so I don't want to like overstep the mark with their privacy. So of course I do. Yeah, it's really hard not to. Yeah, I used to compare my body, my appearance, my looks, my personality, blah 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 blah. There are times when I'm in a down mood, when I'm having a low day or a low week, that I sit and scroll through other people's Instagram accounts and feel miserable about myself. But that is, I think it's part and parcel of the era we live in, and you just have to have the discipline and self-control to not do that really, or try and restrict it. I try and only follow accounts that inspire me and create good feelings in me, people that give off good vibes and make me feel positive about myself and my friends and family, etc. But yeah, of course I compare myself, it's natural. The thing that I realised is the more I started to achieve in my life and the more comfortable I started to feel in myself and my abilities, and the less I started to care about my appearance, the less that these things happen. So now I feel a lot more confident in myself. I'm just comfortable with my appearance and how I look. Obviously I look like shit a lot of the time, but that's okay, so do most people, I'm sure. Instagram is just the best bits, I suppose, and I'm not going to sit on there, like I said, and have a cold or sound like a man or look like shit, and neither's anybody else. And the sooner you realise that, the better you feel. But everybody's going through their own shit, everybody, and the sooner you realise that, the better. But yeah, don't compare yourself too much. It's healthy to sit there and get that sort of feeling of competitivity in your chest. Like, I look at girls achieving things and I think, oh, I need to be achieving that, and it spurs me on. But yeah, when it comes to appearance and things, don't get too caught up on it, because there's only one of you and nobody is youer than you. So this is a difficult question to answer because it's a bit vague, but friendships wise, like, I'm very, very lucky to have the friends I've got at the moment. My experience with friendships is I've always had like one friend here, one friend here, one friend here, like they're dotted here, there and everywhere. Some of them I've known for like weeks, months, years. I don't have like one solid group of friends. I never have. I've never had like a friendship group. That's always served me well. I would always recommend it. Everybody that I ever knew that had a big friendship group always had so many problems with bitching. So I've never really had to face anything like that. When it comes to friends, I have, again, because I think of my star sign and stuff, I invest emotionally in people very deeply. So friendships wise, I've always been like extremely intense with my friends, and I've told them all my secrets and been like, we'll be best friends forever. And I have found before that people don't reciprocate the kind of like friendship that I offer. If I'm somebody's friend, I want them to be able to ring me at 3 o'clock in the morning in tears. I want to be able to book a whirlwind holiday. I want to be able to tell you everything and anything and be like that person for you. And I've had people before that just haven't really maintained their side of the deal, which isn't their fault. Maybe they just wanted something different from a friendship. But for me, I think you really have to nurture friendship like you would a relationship. So my closest friends, I'm so lucky to have them. They all make me laugh and cry, and I could go to them with anything and they would keep my secrets, and they're just such loyal, good people. They help me in more ways than anyone can understand. They help me with my career. They just want to see me do well and root for me, and that's exactly what I offer them back, and that's so important for me. But yeah, it's important to have a good set of friends, but just because you can count all of your friends on one hand doesn't mean that you aren't a good person. So that's what I've learned as well. I don't love how red my cheeks go. My cheeks are very red. I have rosacea. I do also have psoriasis on my scalp, which isn't brilliant. What else don't I like? I don't like my complexion. I don't like being pale all winter. I wish I had like a natural glowy tan like girls with like a deep rich olive complexion. I'm so jealous of. My thighs covered in cellulite. I have the flattest arse known to man. I have fat ankles. There's loads of stuff that I don't like, but like these things, like, what can you do about them? You can't change them. They are what they are. So I suppose like I could probably work out more and like get skinnier legs if I ran 10 miles every day, but I just can't be arsed. Like, I just don't care enough. And then my favourite thing about me is difficult. I just like my personality. I just think I'm funny. I obviously spend more time with myself than I do anyone else, so I just think I'm great to be with. Like, I'm an absolute nerd. But appearance wise, I like my hair, although it really pisses me off most days. Cheeks, I like my cheekbones. Like, I'm very lucky. My mum and dad spent a lot of money on my teeth when I was younger, so I do like my teeth as well, and probably my boobs. Boobs on my stomach. When I've been eating good for a few weeks, my stomach is quite nice. But yeah, there's a few things, but it's important to be honest about what you don't like and be honest about what you do like. And I'm not going to be like, oh, there's nothing I like about myself, because I just think you should just like who you are, and I do like who I am, and there's not much I would change. So yeah, that is it, I think, guys. That is genuinely it. It's going dark. I've got my ring light, which is like neon in my face. But yeah, I'm so sorry if this is like the longest video of your entire life. I'm sure you've got used to it by now that I'm the queen of rambling and talking, but I hope you found the advice beneficial. I hope you feel like you got all your questions answered, and I will definitely be trying to do Q&As a bit more frequently, so it's not like word vomit of information at once. If I do these more regularly, I'll have less questions to answer, so hopefully I'll be able to do more in future soon. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ring the little bell so you get notified every time I upload. It will be more frequent, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.